MPW, we're here in Melbourne. We want to talk to Adam about Haltech Horsepower Heroes, touch base about that because we all know it's such a great part of the event. So many cars over the years, people become legends. Righto, Summernats fans, we're here with Adam Rogash. We know he runs the Haltech Horsepower Heroes Dyno cell. He's got some cars downstairs that are going to be coming to Summernats. Maybe we'll touch on them first. What do we got, Adam?
Look, we'll bring my VK all show.
Yep.
So we've just put a new engine from Powerhouse Engines in that. That's all R5 Nexus controlled. So we're going to bring that along and put a little bit of boost in it and see what it does. And we'll bring my Capri. So We've only made, look, we'll touch on this later. We'll go and have a chat about that car. But yeah, we'll bring that. We'll throw some boost in that and see what it does as well.
Yeah, what else?
We've got Dave Carnell's HQ 1-tonner.
Yep.
So that's a Elite 2500 controlled stock LS, and that car runs 950s. We've got Jason Way's Foxake Barra-powered Fox body. So that'll be its last event on the factory motor. That makes around the 600 real kilowatts on a factory stock engine. And then Jason's just got a built motor going into that. So we'll step that up after Summernats.
Yeah. Very cool car. It was cool to see it at MotorX this year as well.
Yeah, and it's forever getting better, that car. It's a pretty cool deal. So for as basic as what it is. We will have, we've got Daniel Buchanan's SRT. Hopefully we've got an engine back in time and we can get that in. That's another Nexus powered SRT.
Yep.
So that's got twin GDX 45s on it, methanol.
Maybe a bit of Skid Row, a bit of Dyno, who knows?
Yeah. It's a black 300C, so it's a pretty cool car.
Yeah.
We will have Dragos's aspirated HK with us as well, which is a small block Chev powered HK.
Yep.
Makes a pretty good grunt, runs bottom 10s.
You'll run that up on the Dyno as well?
Yeah, so all of these cars we're going to run up on the Dyno.
Yep.
We've got Lee's Tirana coming, so Lee's Tirana is a pretty cool Holden 5-litre type deal.
Yep.
With a Pro Charger on it. We've got Andrew Broadley's Tirana out there with his 2300 Harrop and a Frankston engine built 355 in that.
Yep.
So, sorry, I think it's still a 308, that thing.
Tough little combo, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So, look, we'll get that to the track after Summernats as well.
He loves his ski boat interior. I have to give shout out to Broads with his ski boat interior, and he's on his Tirana. He's going to kill me for this.
Yeah. Broads' taste in friends is as bad as his taste in cars, so we'll leave it at that, hey?
Beep. I always find Horsepower Heroes is a good spectacle, but it's also a great place to get a spectacle and have 5 minutes in the shade.
Yeah.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. You could spend an hour in there, chill in the shade, because there's always something going on, but you also get the benefit of, while it's loud and the dyno's on, it's also a nice quiet spot off the street. Not that I don't like rowdy Summernats, but it's nice to take 5. The red XR6 only a couple of years ago sort of wowed everyone.
A couple of thousand horsepower.
No one expected that to happen. I'm not saying, but just by the looks of the car, look kind of sleeper. It's kind of style. That was kind of cool. There's always a surprise. I did see a 50 horsepower, I think Corolla or something a couple of years ago.
We get a few of them. First year we did it, we had the Go-Go Mobile on the rollers, and going from a chassis dyno to a hub dyno.
It's interesting, right?
Going from a chassis dyno to a hub dyno as well.
Yeah.
Just the increase in power that we're seeing because we can hold it down now.
Yeah.
When we first started Jake Edwards' Tirana, it was just an absolute mission to hold the thing down on the dyno and had different tyres, different everything on it.
Yeah.
Now we're holding down full-blown race cars like the AC Delco Pro Slammer.
Yeah.
Like Dale Hallier's VT. Like we're making 3,000 plus horsepower on our hubs, and it's just like a walk in the park.
It's around 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was the AC Delco, the Monaro versus Dale's VT.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 3,000 horsepower.
Yeah, it was just over 3,000 that Dale made.
Yeah,
so
crazy. And the flames from the exhaust.
And just for the record, turbos beat blowers again on that one. So just gonna put that out there. But honestly, when we first started doing it, it was all about the numbers and back to back and all that kind of stuff. And now it's things like Silky's SR20, right?
Yeah.
He comes in and it's gone and it's ran bottom 8s out of that car, I think it was, and wheel stands half the track.
Too, yeah.
But people now relate that because they see all of the track work that these cars do, like my Capri, like the VK, like all of the cars that we drag along. They see all of the track work that they do, and then they want to see what numbers they make on the dyno. It doesn't matter whether they make it once or whether they continuously make it after heat soak. It's not about that anymore.
What's some of the cars? Let's go back. Some of the cars from the early days. As just a fan of cars in general that you remember. Like I remember, and I'll sort of back end this question. We all remember Jason Gray's car making 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Why was it? What do you cars remember? Well, maybe we'll come to that. But why was it so hard to make 500 horsepower 20 years ago? Like, why was it so? It seems like impossible now.
Oh, back in the day, everything technology wasn't there. Nothing was as efficient.
Yeah.
No one really had turbo systems back then, did they? Everything was like a side mount blower or something, which even now don't make huge power.
Yeah.
And whatever power they do make, they take to drive them again. Whereas we've seen a big increase in turbo cars. So, like, you have a look at the first big turbo car that stands out to me would be Eddie Tassone's thing back in the day, and that was a really cool thing. And I remember that was before I actually started my business.
That was around 900 horsepower, was it?
I think that went over 1,000, and they made him pull the intake manifold off of it, thinking that there was nitrous on it.
Yeah, it might have been Judge that maybe made
yeah, I think Judge was just under 1,000. It was like 900 or something.
Yeah.
You can see here, twin turbos. The Giacotola, one of only 15 ever manufactured. Horsepower Heroes, Rookie Performance, Horsepower Heroes, Summernats 14, making the run, top qualifier with 850.4, Todd Wilkes, the judge, here comes the judge. It is up over 800, 856.7.
And then you've got Lionel Lemon's thing, Mr. PSI, that come in and from not seeing turbos, and all of a sudden you've got two massive turbos hanging out the bonnet or something.
Yeah, watching Judge and Jason Gray and all these other guys run these cars.
And watching Mr. PSI and
seriously.
Tryhard, Craig Munro,
Yeah.
both like going head to head with that kind of stuff. And it's weird because back in the day it was
wild stuff.
set up just for dyno. So even if it was an auto car, they used to put manuals in them to put them on the dyno and make higher numbers. Whereas now, exactly how we race them is how we're putting them on the dyno.
And it was the talk, man. If you could make big power like that, there was no social media. It was everyone call everyone or something like this.
Oh,
like
yeah.
1,000 plus or whatever. It was
and you look back at the videos and the fires in the cage and and dropping their guts everywhere and we've got to remember that was all on chassis dynos as well. Yeah. So as I said before, we could tie them down, but it was a mission.
Yeah.
Whereas now you just bolt them to the hubs and it's the end.
It's a lot safer too, right?
Yeah, heaps safer.
Yeah.
Heaps safer.
Yeah. So we've touched on nostalgia. What about in recent times, say last 5-6 years? What sort of cars are we looking at that you remember that are just blown your mind?
One of Scotty Cortina's mates had a HK there. I think it was Pro HK when just on 1,000 aspirated. Look, that's no matter what you do, 1,000 horsepower aspirated is a huge deal.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful car. You've got Silky's Datsun.
Yep. Very cool car.
To me, that was a cool car.
Yeah.
I'm a drag racer, so I thought that was really cool. You've got
loves a wheel stand.
It does. It really does. And trying to fit in and out of the thing.
Yeah.
So, look, you've got Bubba's VH.
Yeah.
That was a really cool deal when we did that.
Yeah.
Chris Cutterjar's rear mount turbo deal, that VE Ute, so that went over 1,500. Ricardo Pontonio's went 1,700, his VK. You've got Cody's, the last year, his VE wagon. That went, up around 1,500-1,600 from memory. Now that car should make over 2,000 this year from what we hear.
Yep.
So Maria's Barra powered XR, that was a really cool car. But each year there's something different that stands out.
And the beauty is, I guess, for you, if you're there ready, all set up, and something shows up that you had no idea was coming, and you go, well, and it makes a big power. That's kind of like the exciting stuff, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And look, all of my boys love what they do as well, so they try and help the contestants. You can speak to anyone who's been on the dyno in the last 5 years, and anyone with these big cars normally has problems. My guys are running around like maniacs helping them fix it, and they're using all of our tools. We try to take enough to fix anything we can in the dyno cell because we want to put a show on. We don't want to sit there and go, no, you can't do that or you can't do that. We want everyone to show us what they can do.
As an entertainment spectacle, it's great. You've got someone on the mic that's talking about what's going on. at all times, talking about what cars are coming up, what special things have happened that day. It is a great place to go, and I keep saying chill out. I'm not treating it like a picnic zone, but
no, but that's exactly what it is. You can actually just sit down and chill out. You're not standing in a pile of smoke. You're not in the aircon. We make sure we put the aircon on nice and early.
You can leave your sombrero behind at the tent for this one. It's kind of nice and chill. So as you'll see, we've moved now. We're here with Adam's Capri, a full-blown street car. I've seen videos of this thing, mate, cruising around, photos with the dog in the passenger seat and doing all sorts of stuff. You drive it on the street.
Yeah, the whole dog photo come from, I normally take the dog for a walk on the weekend, and I went to hop in one of my other cars and go down. I thought, it's a nice day, why not just... So we rolled out here and took this down the beach. But yeah, look, we live in a nice part of Vic, so yeah, we drive it down the beach quite often. Cal and I'll go down and grab brekkie and whatever, so... Yeah, it's been a good thing.
And quite quiet, like when it's just, cruising
in street trim, you wouldn't think it is what it is. Yeah. Obviously, ram's horns come out of it for everyone going, it's not a street car, it's got side pipes. No shit, you take them off. Like common sense.
Yeah.
So side pipes come off.
It's got on a full exhaust.
Yeah, full exhaust. It's aspirated on the street, so we've got J pipes which just pull off, and then full exhaust on the street. And it's actually really quiet. It's quieter than my VK. Yeah. So... yeah, it doesn't drone inside, it's actually a really nice thing to drive.
Yeah, nice.
Turning circle sucks, but the rest of it's all right.
This car is you could almost call it a halo product of everything that you do.
Yeah, well, the reason we built this car was over COVID, we put a lot of money into tooling. We couldn't get parts, we couldn't get product, we were relying on other people who also couldn't get parts and product. Yeah. So although we've always worked in with a great team to supply us with parts and help us with different parts of building cars, we found it easier to move everything in-house. So we went and we've spent a lot of money on CNCs, on plasma cutters, on welding benches, welding tables, chassis jigs, and all that kind of gear. So we've put extra hoists in at work, we've moved all of our electrical side of things over. So now we do everything start to finish in-house. So we really needed a product to show what we're doing. Me personally, I've put a lot of time into chassis work and getting them to work at the track. Yeah. So this car was a thing to go out and say, look, everything built in-house, including bracketry cut in-house, everything done with us, all the rear chassis, all of the tube work, every bit of fabrication, everything except for paint and panel was done in-house. So, and to be able to go out and run a 6 on its second full pass kind of shows that we know what we're doing and gives everybody that confidence who brings cars in.
You build cars for people who want to go as fast as this. Yep. And I guess, do you attract the type of customer you want also by building a Halo product that represents...
100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. When we built this car, my workshop's now full of 6-second capable cars. Yeah. So, as you've seen today when you were there, there's, 4 or 5 cars in there at the moment in the middle of the build, which will probably go faster than this. So,
Is that a good thing?
I think it's a great thing. I would rather be chasing a customer than chasing someone else. So I think it's all that friendly competition has always been really good within the MPW crew. Yeah. So we find that as soon as people start pushing hard and going fast, it's just a good bunch of camaraderie.
MPW development. You know, everybody's sort of working towards the same goal.
Yeah, 100%. I
guess in a sense. What's it like to drive? We touched base, I remember, at MotorX about the car when it was first launched. You hadn't driven it really then properly, I guess, at all. You've had a launch down the track now. I know you want to go faster, but what's it like to drive? Is it everything you'd imagined?
Yeah, it's rowdy.
Yeah.
It's rowdy.
I have seen it up on its back wheels.
Yeah, well, it was off its back wheels. We did an ollie on its second ever launch. Yeah. So up at Sydney, we hit it. We didn't have our laser ride height set up. So this has got a Haltech laser ride height sensor, which is supposed to stop that. Yeah. And me going, we've only got 15 pound of boost in it. It's not going to need that yet. And so we rolled into 15 PSI. So we launched on like 4. And as it rolled in at about 100 foot to 15 pound of boost, it just did that and just got lift off. So it was at about that point that we went, wow, this thing's a different animal than anything we've done before.
Tell me, if you wanted to purely be a dyno, king, what's like the ideal combo that that people could run? That what would someone want to build if you say they come to you? I want to make.
You can't beat a fatty. Like I don't care what anyone says. You can't beat a big block.
Yeah.
Like as I say, everybody says, what's the difference with racing my VK and racing this? Every time I'm in the VK, I feel like I'm going to kill it. Every time I'm in this, I feel like it's going to kill me. And it's literally the difference. So, as I say, we've been 691 at 200 mile an hour in this on 16 pounder boost.
Yeah.
My VK's been 750 on 34 pounder boost. So you go have a look at the difference in
displacement.
Exactly right. We can run bigger turbos. We can do whatever we want to do. So I go, a fatty's going to make more power than anything, or a Hemi, or a Pro line. But let's call it that big block, big journal engine. Gone are the days everyone used to put a manual in cars to make big power. I don't know of a manual that's going to handle any of these things unless you're talking to Liberty or whatever. So I would say that you're going to be turbo 400 with, if you want to make more grunt on the dyno, you would run a really tight converter.
Yeah.
So you're not losing any slip through converter. So if it was purely a dyno car, you would run a really tight converter. Obviously it's not going to work on the track, but that's where I would be.
You might get another, at the top end of 2,500, 2,600, you might get 100 horsepower out of a tighter converter, you think?
Oh, more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get more than that.
Yeah, wow. But big block, cubes, boost.
Yeah. All of it, good management system.
Crank driven like Pro Charger style or like turbo?
No, so the difference is a Pro Charger takes power to make power.
Yeah.
So you have a look at a Pro Charge car that's making, let's call it 1,800 to 2,000 horsepower at the tyre. And they're going every bit as fast, if not faster, than a car making 3,000 in a turbo application.
Yeah.
They're just taking power to make power. So
why do you think the difference is people choose to go that route other than turbo?
Because they're more linear and they're easier to tune at the track.
Okay.
So
there is benefits.
There is a lot of benefits. So a lot of people are going down that path now where...
Yeah. Like if you were say
Pro Charger is
in an 8 class category, maybe a perfect application for something like that. You don't want to go 6s or whatever.
So so we've had this conversation with Frank Machis. So when we were building this was a toss-up between turbo or what we were going to do. And he's had more experience with the Pro Charge car than I have. And I said the same thing to him, why would you go down that path?
Yeah.
And he said exactly what I've just said, where they're more linear, it's easier to tune, and for a car that's going rounds and backing it up, they're more repeatable.
Yeah, okay. Too good. Well, there's going to be lots of cars like this Capri at Summernats in the dyno hall. Adam's going to be there running them all up. You can come and hang out and be there and witness it all for yourself.
Hey guys, it's been a few days since I sat down with JBens, or just over a week, and we were talking about getting it back on the dyno. So we've now got the Capri back on the dyno. We're going to give it a pull and we're going to see what we're set up for Summernats. One of our major sponsors, Haltech, have actually asked us to put the car on their display. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our dyno comp at Summernats with this car. So on the Thursday afternoon, we're going to throw this on the dyno. We'll do the opening run with this car, hopefully set a benchmark, and then go and throw it onto Haltech's site for the week. So our plan now is we've never had more than 20 pounder boost in it. We're going to try and just up the ante to around the 30, 32 pounder boost now, and we'll see what it makes, and hopefully it starts with a 2 and we'll be all right to get it up to Summernats.